know, State's always a good way to start. He's been well coached. He's been there. And they played hard, and they give you what you want to do in a preseason. I got to see a lot of players. Obviously, we're to have 15 players in the first half, and that kind of cuts down on a rhythm of a game, so you don't really have, maybe your play kind of goes up and down a little bit. But I thought I saw what I wanted to see. One, we got to correct a defensive problem. We're not going to be able to push up and push the side downs as far out as we were doing. So we'll correct that problem. I think they got a lot of penetration off of it, and we got to stop that. Although they only shot, I think they shot 31 and 25%. It's not bad, but I didn't think we got enough deflections. I didn't think we got enough steals to where we get down on the other end faster. And we'll work on that. I think we can get better. I think there's a couple of things we do. Going through the roster, I think our first five is pretty solid. They all play well together. Pretty solid for the first time out, and going in, going out, going in, going out. I thought Luke played really well. John's John, and Ryan's Ryan. That first group's pretty solid. I did like after that Alex stepped up. I haven't seen that kid. That kid was aggressive. He looked big when he went to the basket and finished. He spread out. And, if we can continue to do that and be consistent, he's going to be a pleasant surprise. Adeem played adequately. He's got to get stronger, quicker, but I think it's more mental than just physical, that he processes the game more aggressively. Kyrie's going to be a nice point guard. I thought he played pretty well for a freshman, first time out. And am I leaving anybody out that I should talk about? The rest of them, we're in and out to the point where it's really difficult to tell. I feel Bledsoe going to have to work. I think he's a little bit more toward that's a typical freshman that's going to find his way. But in practice, he's looked good. So all in all, decent. I think last year Newberry beat us, so we're playing a little bit better, and we got 2 days to get a little bit better with a better Charleston team coming in here.
Any questions?
Well, yeah, toward the end of the first half, did you feel like you had to send the starters back in just to restore order a little bit?
A little bit, but not really. They only played 4 minutes, I think, that first half. So I took them out with about 4 or 5 minutes. And they had a 14-point lead, and just didn't want to keep them. I would have liked to have kept them all out, obviously, the whole time. But there's no, when you're looking out on the floor, we putting a freshman team out there, which is, for me, the way we recruit, it takes us a while to develop the players, but I think there's a lot of potential that we can develop. I want to see Kilgore a little bit more too. I didn't see enough here. I kind of like him I feel comfortable when he has the ball, that we're going to be pretty decent. He's pretty long too. He's got long arms, so. I don't think it was. I don't think it was an emergency. I think we'd have been all right, but I just wanted to give him a little bit more run. I planned on doing it. What I was going to do was go about 5 minutes and then end up with them for about 4 minutes. Let them go 5 minutes into the second half and then pull them, and that way they would have some continuous play. And but again, I think I got a good view. We got a good tape to show. West Virginia State came in and competed. Nice crowd for an exhibition game, and appreciate them coming out. I hope they stay with us. We had a couple of little exciting plays, but I think that'll get better and better.
Even when went up 27 or whatever, State made a little bit of a run. you didn't rush your starters back in there, you let those other guys
No,
play.
I let them stay. You know, we're all right. I mean, I think we'd have been fine. Our kids would have gathered their feet a little bit, but you know, when you're talking about true freshmen going out there and game they get excited about, we didn't do a lot of the things that we normally do in practice, and that'll get better. I'm not too worried about it. You know, you look at solid, you got 5 solid players. You got CJ sitting in, that makes 6 that you know when he plays. So now if Alex steps up where he is, then that's 7. Dean, I think, is passable. Kyrie, that's 9. And I think Christian can give us a lot more. I want to see if Kilgore can. I think Noah really can. He looked out of place a little bit. And then I think Bledsoe will end up playing. We'll talk about, we'll see what Jansen does. He's been great in practice, and Thieneman can step up. But Jansen's been great in practice. I just don't know. He's a very talented kid. You know, that might be a red shirt. We'll probably look. We've talked to him about it. But he with a little bit of weight, and a little bit of time on the floor, he's pretty good. So I think things look bright. We just keep pushing forward. We'll be very competitive in our league, and we'll see how far we can take it.
Couple more questions.
Thompson made the kind of jump you wanted to see him do from last year to this year. I mean, 9 points, 8 rebounds in just 16 minutes. It's a pretty good night against their big, who was pretty decent too, 30.
No, they're not bad. You know, he's done a good job there for a long time, for what I understand. Now, y'all might know history more than I know, but they've always been a pretty decent team. And he had a little down year last year, but he went out and got all new players. And the guy that was their leading scorer last year came off the bench. So, you know, I think Terrence last year was a little more of a hindrance on offense. This year he flows with the offense. He came down and jumped up and shot a quick one, which, you know, maybe later on in the year he starts hitting those if he can get comfortable again. But, you know, when he took it, it didn't look like he couldn't do it. You know, that's where I judge, you know, it was like last year with James. When he was taking those shots, I knew he could do it, even though he was missing. You could see that it was going to happen. And the same thing with him. When he shoots now, I don't panic like last year. Now, you know, I feel comfortable. I feel like he's got a good chance of making it, and I don't have a problem. And he's still filling his offensive legs. He'll get better. That'll get a lot better as the year progresses. And then Ryan and Stevie and all those guys, they're pretty solid.
Not worried about the rebounding?
Well, they were quicker to the ball than us. And I don't worry about the size of it, but our guards, most of those were long rebounds. And to be honest with you, they were shots that were way off and banged and came way out. And we're going to have to take a look at that. I totally agree. But I did not see where they out-muscled us to a rebound. You know, they out-quicked us to ones. But when they were up there and they came up right around the rim, we were pretty good, at least when you had Ryan and Terrence in there, or in a Dean with Ryan or Terrence. We pretty much handled the ones that came off around the rim. It was the ones that came out. They were quicker to the ball, and we'll look at the tape. And our guards got to do a little better job getting back up in there. Sometimes John wants to run down the motor too fast, so sometimes we'll have to come back and rebound a little better. But am I concerned? I would have been concerned if I thought they muscled us in there. I didn't see that. There was one time, but that wasn't when Terrence and Ryan and or Dean with Terrence and Ryan were in there. That was when Dean and I think Alex and Christian were in there. And I thought they got some right around the rim two or three times that you can't give up. But, you know, that team with Ryan and Terrence, they rebounded pretty good last year, Conference USA. So I'm not too worried about that. I thought Luke played really well, too. I didn't use him as much. I don't know how many minutes I used him. But he ended up playing. Luke played 17 minutes, so. you know, you're looking at times, Terrence played 16, Ryan played 19, Stevie played 21, John played 25, 17 for Luke. They were 18 and 18 for Penova and Allison, and 16 for Alex. So, you know, those guys are gonna play 30, that first group's gonna play 30. So that's 10 more minutes, and we won't be going as deep, obviously, as the year goes around, but, just gotta fiddle with the guy, I gotta be a little better at making sure the right combinations in there so they don't out-rebound us. And I have to see what Bledsoe, if he's capable as a freshman to be able to rebound. Right now, with what you were talking about, Doug, we were a little weak when we got into that lineup, but that was a specific lineup that I saw. Other than that, there were long rebounds, our guards were probably trying to run down the floor. Well, we can stop that pretty easy. That's not something, it's not hard to, we didn't have that problem last year. You get an exhibition game, they want to go down, have highlight reels on everything, so we can fix that problem.